Continuing where we left off, we needed to finish up problem 4. In this problem, we're going to talk a little bit about causation. I'm just going to kind of mention this. I don't really use this a lot as far as like homework or testing, but I think it's just kind of one of those statistical things that you should be aware of and know that it is a type of relationship. So here it basically tells us that causation is when a change in one quantity causes a change in a second quantity. So one thing to keep in mind, a correlation between quantities does not always imply that there is also causation. For example, in this example, they want us to identify whether relationships are causal. In the following situations, is there likely, first of all, to be a correlation, meaning positive-negative correlation? And if so, does the correlation reflect a causal relationship? Does one quantity cause the other quantity to change? So we're kind of looking at two different things here. So if you look at A, the number of loaves of bread baked and the amount of flour used. Well, let's think about this for a minute. The more bread you bake, obviously the more flour you have to use because you need flour to make bread. So that would seem to pose a positive correlation and also a causal relationship, because as you bake more loaves of bread, you also have to change the amount of flour that is being used. So it increases. So one causes the other to change. And so we could say in that case that it was both a positive correlation and has a causal relationship. Now let's look at another example here. The number of mailboxes and the number of firefighters in a city. Now, without going too deep into this, we're not going to go over all the what ifs. Okay, let's just think of this in general terms. There is likely to be a positive correlation because both the number of mailboxes and the number of firefighters tend to increase as the population of a city increases. However, installing more mailboxes does not necessarily cause the number of firefighters to increase. So we would say that there is no causal relationship. So that's just kind of a few examples there. Look at the other example here. Consider the cost of a family's vacation and the size of their house. So first of all, is there likely to be a correlation? So I would feel like most likely if a family is going to spend more on their family vacation, then they maybe can afford a larger house. I would think that would or could be in general a positive correlation. But is there likely to be a causal relationship? Does one cause the other to change? So the cost of your family vacation, does that cause the size of your house to change? And I would say the answer is no. So even though there probably is likely a correlation between the two, I would definitely think that the correlation is not a causal relationship. And sometimes, it can be based on somewhat of your opinion, but you can also look up those statistics if you really were interested in that, okay? So in general, Just think about the relationships that are caused when you see a trend line or a trend. And as I said, we're going to be spending a couple of days on this topic. Your next activity to do is complete the worksheet that I hopefully gave you in class, or I will also attach one on my webpage. And you guys need to work on that so you're ready to go for the next day.